I am now finally ready to do the valve cover gasket on this car. There's a number of videos online that I watched that kind of gave me some confidence in pulling this off. Um, Everything seemed pretty straightforward, relatively simple, and as we all know, that's not usually how it goes. So I guess I'm doing this to give you a real life experience of what this job would entail. One thing right off the bat, I didn't look that deep, but I haven't seen this particular engine cover on any of the other videos, so I'm not sure if that's a different engine or if that's part of the trim package that I have on my car. My interior is gray with some silver trim, so maybe they matched this engine cover and that's the only difference, or possibly it's a different engine. Maybe somebody knows, post it in the comments, that'd be great. I was always curious about that. In any case, as far as I could tell, everything else looks pretty much the same as everything I'd seen online. So again, I'm not trying to one-up anybody on any of their videos. In fact, I watched those videos to get an idea as to what I was doing here, and this is just to maybe find out what type of bugs you can expect to encounter during this process, because like I said, everything looked too easy online. I have to start by detrimming the cowl area. It's actually the cabin filter area. The cowl sits behind that. Oh, there's my finger. And yeah, I guess I'm not sure what that is. I think there's some relays in there and whatnot, maybe the same out over there, but all this has to get taken apart to gain access to the valve cover. I'll just kind of narrate as I go. One thing I noticed, I had a recall on this done recently, and it was the PCV valve and also the blower fan cable, and I guess I'm not sure which of these it is referring to, but probably the cable. But down under here you can see that cable is just resting right on the top of the valve cover, so they didn't properly replace that or tuck it into where it was supposed to go. So thank you, BMW. I'm sure there's plenty of heat that comes off that shield there, and so that's great. But when we go ahead and wrap this up, we'll make sure all of that is buttoned up the way it's supposed to. So what we're starting off with here is, like I said, getting this cabin filter cover off. I think those are 7s or 8s, look like 7s. And we'll just kind of detrim as we go and continue on from there. Alright, I'm going to start this now. I got a 7. I'm going to start with this cabin filter. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the camera here. Hold on. There. Still. Alright, so that 1, 2, 3, so it'll be about 6 total. I think I'm missing a screw. I'll have to find one at the end. Never try to all the way do it, because as soon as you let go, it'll fall. Oh, that's pretty easy. I did change this once, but should probably at least blow it out. They're expensive, like 80 bucks. I don't want to do it again. Looks good enough for me, just a little bit built up, but not yellowed or anything. So set that aside. Another thing, I now have 6 bolts. Need to figure out what you want to do with those 6 bolts. It's going to help to stay organized, so I recommend some sort of a tray or some way to remember if you're not sure or want to make it easier at the end to put together. You can at least count the number of screws, even if they're all the same. You can say, well, I got 6 here and 6 there, and if you separate them by 6s, you know to look for 6 holes or something. But if you put them all together, you're like, I don't know, am I looking for 12? But anyways, probably take these off. A flashlight. Little tabs right there. That looks like it could break. Very delicate little tab. Ooh, there's another one right there. There's 2 right there. Man, there's a lot of tabs on this tiny little piece. I'm gonna have to walk this off. I really don't want to break this. I'll grab a pick. Probably my most used tool. Right, which one to start with? I'm going to start with this one. I have a feeling one of these are going to break. Then again, it could just pop right off. We'll see. Please don't break. Not everything on this car is expensive, but I imagine this part would be. It wants to start back here. Goes around the strut, the hood strut. It's coming, but I'm kind of walking it off carefully. Oh, come on. I have to get a little more aggressive here at a certain point. This comes off. It's separating right there. Well, I'll get this one off and then I'll spare you guys the other side. I figure it'll just be ditto. So, show you once. Let you skip the other side. I might even pause it now. This is being a pain in the butt. Maybe I'll just. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on taking those off. I mean, it looks like it can come out without taking those off. If I have to later, I will. But those clips look fragile. This car is 06. I should have mentioned a couple of things about this car. It's 06, 325xi. It has some differences. It has the staggered wheels, so here and there are differences with parts, but for the most part, it's a standard 3 Series for most of the parts. And there's some hidden clips under here, if I recall. Alright, so next thing, you gotta pull this out. I was trying to figure out a nice delicate way to do it, but I just pulled it and it just came out. So these 2 are out. It looks like I got 1 more to go. Hopefully it don't break. Okay. Not too terrible, I guess. looks like it's locked in on the ends with these rubber tabs. And possibly this weather stripping. Looks like the weather stripping is fine. I think it slides in on a groove. There's another tab in the back. Feels like there's another. Let's take these off. So just clips that you just pull these off. There's two, one on each side. It's still on there. I see another bolt here. So that would explain that. Wonder if there's one missing on that side for it to be loose. So let's pull this one off. Where'd my pick go? Guess I'm okay for now. Maybe not. Grab a different pick. Super cheap tool, like less than $1. My most used tool, my cheapest tool. But I am replacing them all the time because you use them a lot and they bend. You can spend a lot on a nice pick set. I've heard people swear by it, but they're not cheap, and these are. They last a little while. Alright. Found my pick. Alright, so yeah, it looks like there could have been a bolt right there. It is probably missing the J-clip for it to screw into. Get that one out and see what that looks like. Yep, it's a J-clip that's missing on that side. I have more J-clips. I'll have to remember to put that in place later. Alright, so this is pulled off. What are we looking at? I want to say it slides in. I'm going to try and yep. Get in front here. Alright, so now that that's looser, I think it's only hooked on by this electrical sensor. So I think I'm just gonna de-trim that. Grab my pick. Has these metal teeth, the type of way that they're fastened on. They got these little metal teeth. So I try to pull them in the direction that I want them to go, and I don't know. Seems like they're more trouble than they're worth. But they generally don't break, so that's always a good thing. And sometimes I stab myself. I don't know if you can see that. Some metal, little teeth. They can sometimes be a pain in the butt. Them teeth can really dig in. You'd be surprised how strong plastic is. you might be surprised. Alright, so those are off, no damage. Those have probably been off a few times now. Like I said, I think BMW had to get in here before. Okay, so that's the plug that was holding that side. That was all that was holding that side. Actually, this cable should be holding it down. You can probably see it's supposed to go inside there. Because that came off too easy. And I think that's it, because there's only one plug on the one side. I'll pull it off on that side. You can see this weather strip kind of wanted to travel with it. I think I'll probably assemble those maybe together, maybe apart. I'm not sure. I don't remember which way is easiest. It's off now though, whether I intended to or not. Like I said, it's been off a few times. Alright, so I gotta take off these braces here. Looks like a cap right here. You gotta pop off. Let me see if I can just grab it. I'm hoping that don't break. Up here in Minnesota we get a lot of cold, but we also get a lot of hot. So you get hot and cold. So the stuff gets fatigued. Okay, that was pretty easy. Put that in a place I can remember. What do we got? It's external torques, inverted torques. I don't know my external torque sizes, but it's about yay. Let me grab those. If you have a BMW and you want to work on your own stuff, you need a set of these. I call them external torques. Some people call them inverse torques. There's a lot of these on BMWs. But here's one for example. So let's try this one. 12974 E14. Well, E14, so 14 millimeter probably. I see different markings on them. Oh, I don't want to lose that down in there. Better put that on an extension. Alright, don't want to lose your tools down inside of anything ever, if possible. One more up. So if that was a 14, is this a 15? It's a 16. So E16, that looks about right. Oh man, am I wrong again? Oh, I only got one left. I hope that's the right size. Otherwise, I got to make a trip to the store. That feels good. What did we say that was? That's the 18, so I don't know. They don't have in-betweens, or they're not common enough to make them in between. I'm thinking this will be doable with a 3/8. Bring it to a 1/2 inch if I need to. Oh, no problem there. Probably could have been maybe a little tighter. Gotta imagine this stabilizes the engine compartment and prevents sway. I gotta do this by hand, I guess. I always prefer to finish pulling them off by hand in case they want to wiggle and fall. Sometimes you don't have a choice. just balances in the hole like this one. I don't think it would fall very far, to be honest, but I don't want it to fall at all. I feel like it's off. It's so spongy. There. Oh, there's a wire under here, and I think the wire was catching on the edge of the washer. But that's off, so now I can go to the side ones. That one feels too big. That one's too big. I struggle with eyeballing these. That's right. So again, that's a E14. So we did an 18 and now a 14. I prefer to use extensions. Seems to always be a little nicer to have an extension. So only 3 bolts for these cross beams, that's not too bad. And I'm keeping the bolts together in a bin. Kind that you can just custom the spaces, the little compartments. I'm guessing that might be hooked onto something. Oh, it's hard to see. Set that down for a quick sec. There's a little bit of rubber right here. It's actually like a, what do you call it? Like a rubber sleeve. So there's a little bit of pressure as you pull out of there, but that's just, I guess I don't know what that's for. Oh, as I crush the valve cover gasket. Fortunately, that's still in the box with no protection, just sitting in the box. All right, so there's that sleeve. This one's a little more. The whole sleeve is turning inside out. Well, that's not what I wanted, but nothing broke. Ooh, maybe this one tab right here. Why did she do that? I don't know. So I guess push it back inside out. Nothing seems to be broke. It's not like a super critical part, but we don't want things to break either. I mean, for it to be a weather stripping, it's preventing moisture through this opening. Should be pretty straightforward. Well, nothing's perfect. There's always little snags. Stupid little things that'll hold you up. I want it to just snap in. Alright, there's kind of like where a bolt is on the side, it's kind of curved, and so you just got to line up that curve with the end of the curved end of that, whatever that is, rubber sleeve, weather stripping. And set these parts aside. And look like they are side specific. A little bit of a bend, a little bit of a twist right here, so it wouldn't fit right if you had them backwards. So if you're putting this together at the end and they're wobbly or something, you probably got them backwards, but other than that, it's a pretty simple design. Kind of hard to screw that one up. And then you can see now, here's this cable just sitting there all nice and neat. So am I right about that? Well, there's one cable in there already. Did I miss something? Yeah. So this is that top piece from before, and I guess I have to it's got 2 tabs on these 3. Or look at that. Looks like that opens up pretty easily and kind of semi-hinged on here, so this whole thing should just rock open. So when I put this back together, I'll have to want to have that down or flip it down when it's in place or something like that. It's good to look at it when it's off. You don't want to figure it out later when it's on already. Otherwise you might have to take it off again just to get a stupid answer. So anyways, yeah, so I guess it would be like this, because I guess I would have probably had to have undid this at a certain point, and when it's tied in there, it's real difficult to see, and you don't know what you're exactly trying to take apart. In this case, it's helpful for me that it's already out. At this point, I think I just want to pull this. Well, I got to get rid of this guy, I think. Okay. It's got like this bar with 2 little tabs. I guess you could probably take the bar out, but if you can keep it together, that might be easier. And then another tab you got to pull out. Another very handy tool. Actually, this is not even a pry tool. This is a staple remover if you're looking for it. I got it at Home Depot for like 10 bucks, but as a body tech, this is an invaluable tool. Yeah, like I said, I'm a body tech, not a mechanic, so this is me stepping outside of the box a little bit. Some body techs really have a lot of mechanical knowledge too, and I guess I don't really fall into that category, but I try. Alright, well, I guess I did see in one of the other videos where they take out these little corner pockets. These little pockets are what have the little tabs that you have to kind of. Now look at that, it's 2 parts. So you got this. I'm gonna dump this on the floor. That's a little vent. Just sits at the bottom. I've taken these out a number of times. I just kind of forgot that it was there. And then now there's this rubber, kind of a sleeve-like thing. Well, it tucks under and behind the piece behind it, but I don't think you need to take that piece off. That looks like a pain in the butt. That's got a push clip in it, a Christmas tree push clip. This I think just pulls out. Might be a, I can't really see down there, might be a tab down there holding it in. I hope it doesn't make me have to pull this out. Just one in the back, that would be a real pain in the butt. Well, okay. Maybe if well, see, there it is. There's a clip down there. Well, yay. Do I really need it off? Well, let's try and take it off. This one's not too long. I just bought this one. This one's pretty cool. Never actually used it yet. And it's not gonna work. Let's see if we get it this well. If I gotta be able to pull it out, I gotta be able to put it back in. So that means I gotta do it by hand. I wonder. Okay. Yeah. That seems to be what's holding it in. I'll show you as soon as I get it out. Just need a longer pry tool so I can get down in there. This one's not thin enough. Here we go. And this is one of those moments where I don't want to lose the pin. Which I kind of feel like I'm gonna, but come on, baby. Alright. So, that was a royal pain in the butt. The question is how to get that back in the end. I won't be able to get my hand down in there, I don't think. Oh, you know what? To be honest with you, probably don't have to do that. That thing goes all the way down. Alright, skip that. Yay. Good practice. In any case, I got that clip off. I might just leave it off. It might give me better access. This thing is just rubber. I'm just pulling it around. Reality is I'm just going for the back side of this cover. Where'd my pick go? Always losing my pick. It's not even the right one. Trying to pull this tab. Oh, come down. Okay, that side's off. I'll go back to this side, I guess. And now I got the two on the side. I gotta be so mean. Ooh, I found that J-clip. So, yes, I got a thought. Let me try. This side came off. Maybe I just gotta pull it hard. Figure out why. I wonder if this slides. Aha. Okay. So now I'm going to put this clip in first thing. Since that didn't need to come out and I have access right now. Still a pain in the butt, even with access. So never mind about that clip. This I'm just going to put right back so I don't forget where it goes. Alright. So that's off. Nothing on the other side, so these things. Oh, by the way, this that's locked, that's unlocked. This side might be broken. No, it's fine. Anyways, it took me a minute to figure that out. Otherwise, in the back, you just have these two springy tabs. You just gotta push them out. Same in the front. And like I said, don't worry about this clip down here. You just gotta mess with the rubber. Don't lose that. It's black, easy to miss it. Get rid of that. Hoping my pick shows up. It's right here. Drives me crazy losing stuff right under your eyes. Alright, so where we at? We got this. So, I believe, oh, yep. These are rubber, but they slide into the plastic bottom, like the side vertical of this relay box. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So there's 3 of them, but I guess for now just the 2 we gotta worry about. This one splits into another connection. Oh, woo! Little shock. And that's the ground. No harm, no foul. So, need to, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Before I do anything, I'm going to go disconnect the battery. And I know I've already done something, but I haven't done anything electrical yet. Just a few pieces of plastic. So, oh, I did unplug that one connector. That might be the ambient air temperature sensor. That shouldn't be a big deal, although no guarantees. So I'll go ahead and disconnect the battery, and then hopefully there won't be any problems with initialization when I'm all said and done here. I am planning to do the eccentric shaft sensor, so that could be a part that may trigger something. And so by disconnecting the battery, you're giving yourself a chance that you know, as far as the car goes, as far as the car knows, that was always the same, you know, if we disconnect the battery. So we'll see, cross our fingers, let you know how that one goes. I don't think I got shocked. I think I got a sliver, but that doesn't change the fact that that is the ground. All right, so I'm gonna pause it for a minute, take a little break, disconnect the battery, and move forward here.